Bertrand of Herault. Chapter 1. Shadows of Gignac. Bertrand de Herault was born in the waning spring of 1208, in the stone-hewn village of Gignac, where the vineyards clung stubbornly to the hills and the Herault River ran cold and dark. The land was scarred already. The distant fire of the Albigensian Crusade had begun to burn through Occitania, and whispers of heretics and burning villages drifted with the wind. Even in the cradle, Bertrand was a child of shadows. His father, a once proud knight, had returned from a distant campaign, carrying wounds that no salve could cleanse. Arrowheads poisoned with blood and rusted steel had carved through flesh and bone, leaving a slow-burning death in their wake. Night after night, the boy watched his father's body twist with fever and pain, the sweet scent of herbs failing to mask the coppery stench of infection. His father's voice, once commanding and sure, now croaked warnings and fragments of battle tales, of honor and loyalty, and of the distant holy city that burned bright even in dreams. Bertrand's mother, weary and silent, tended to her husband and son as best she could, but the house smelled always of sickness and fear. The village offered little solace. Merchants whispered of knights raising Cathar homesteads, of fires set for vengeance, of priests who dragged the faithful to confession under threat of death. In that world, innocence could not last. By the time Bertrand was 10, his father had succumbed to the slow poison of steel, leaving the boy with trembling hands on a sword too heavy for him, and a heart full of both love and terror. The family's small lands had been taken, their neighbors wary, and survival became a cruel teacher. With no father to shield him, no protector but the echoes of dying vows, Bertrand learned quickly that life demanded a darker currency. Hunger gnawed like a wolf at his belly, and the shadows of the surrounding forests whispered promises. By 13, he found himself among a band of desperate men, thieves, mercenaries, and cutthroats, who taught him to steal, to fight, and to kill when necessary. Each act left a stain upon his soul, the copper taste of blood, the theft from those who trusted him, the betrayal of his own conscience, all burned deeper than any wound his father had suffered. Yet the forest and its sins kept him alive when hunger threatened to claim him. It was in those nights, under the black cloak of sky and the distant cries of village dogs, that Bertrand first whispered a vow to himself. Jerusalem, the city of God. If the Lord would forgive the sins of men,